Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2016 Top Scholar Awards Banquet. My name is Donnie Porter, Communications Director for Buncombe County Schools. I want to welcome everybody. Let's begin this evening with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Thank you. I'm introducing Mr. Pat Bryant, who is a board representative from the Irwin District, a post he's held since 2006. He'll be serving as our Master of Ceremonies this evening. Pat and his wife, Debbie, proudly tell you they have 2 kids that graduated from Irwin High School. Tonight, again, serving as our Master of Ceremonies, we will celebrate with him the academic achievements of these nearly 100 Buncombe County High School students who have achieved the highest grade point averages in their schools. Guys, that's incredible. Congratulations. Please join me in a warm welcome for Mr. Pat Bryant.
Good evening and welcome. I would add something to what Dr. Porter said. This is the 10th year I've had the good fortune to be at this event. In the first year in 2007, my daughter, who was not only a graduate of Irwin High School, she was a top scholar from Irwin High School. So it was a fortunate night for me as first year as a board member, but also as a parent to be involved in this event that's been going on for a lot of years. And then I had the equal good fortune 4 years later when my son was a senior in 2011 to also come back as a board member and as a parent. So it's a fun night, and I've been asked to kind of keep things going and keep things moving as Master of Ceremonies. So, that's what I'm going to do. One of the things I did when I was asked to do this, I thought Master of Ceremonies, that sounds pretty important, and there must have been a list of folks that they got way down to me to ask to do this. So I thought I would look it up and see what it means. So I went to Wikipedia, where we know everything is true, and one of the things in Wikipedia, it said an MC, or a Master of Ceremonies, usually presents performers, I won't be doing that tonight, speaks to the audience, I am doing that, entertains people, I don't think I'll do that, and generally keeps the event moving. An MC may also tell jokes or anecdotes. I promise I'm not going to tell any jokes this evening. There might be an anecdote or two, but I won't tell any jokes. I do want to offer some welcomes to some special folks that are here this evening as we get started, and I'd like to start with the other members of the Buncombe County Board of Education. Board members, if you would, when I call you out, if you'd stand. If you've got a nice parade wave that you'd like to give, you can do that as well. They're all here this evening, I believe. I'll start with Madam Chair Ann Franklin from the North Buncombe District. Ann, she's in the back. Our Vice Chair from the Owen District, Mr. Chip Craig. Our member at large, we have an at-large member on the board, who is our longest serving member in 16 years this year, Mr. Dusty Pless. From the T.C. Robertson District, Miss Amy Churchill. I know Amy's here. Way in the back. From the Reynolds District, Miss Cindy McMahon. Cindy's here. And from the Inca District, Mr. Max Queen. On behalf of the full board, we want to welcome all of you here tonight. This is a great event, and we're here to honor you as recipients, the top scholars at our 8 high schools, and it's a lot of fun and something that as board members we look forward to each year. Believe it or not, as a board member, we do a lot of things with budgets and policies and things like that quite frankly aren't not a lot of fun. This is a fun night, and we're here to celebrate you and your accomplishments, and we look forward to that as we go through the evening. I'm going to keep hitting that microphone. There's a couple other folks and groups I'd like to recognize as we get started this evening. If you are a Buncombe County School employee, central office, superintendent, teacher, principal, counselor, would you please stand? I know there are a lot of them here tonight. On behalf of the board, we would like to say, and the audience just did, thank you. Days, afternoons, nights, weekends, you put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, not only for these students, but for all of our students, and for that, we thank you and want to do that publicly. If you are a guest tonight of one of our honorees, a parent, grandparent, brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend, someone who's a guest, and they're a guest at all the tables, would you please stand? Now, you may say, why do we clap for the guests? Well, here's why. I've been in your shoes. I know what you're doing. I understand senior projects. I understand basketball practice and baseball practice and things that are outside of the school day. And without the support of the people that are here as your guest honorees to help you, a lot of what you have accomplished tonight doesn't get done. It just doesn't get done. So on behalf of the board, for all you folks that are here as guests, we thank you for being here, and we thank you for the support that you've given to your students and helping them achieve what they've achieved coming here tonight. And lastly, I'd like for the honorees to please stand. Now, I think it's obvious why we ask you to stand, but I wanted to do that because you're going to get recognized later with your classmates and your high school, and we don't recognize all of you together. We do at the end, we thank you, and we give a nice charge, but for everybody in the room to see you, I wanted to say that, and I want to give you something to think about. My theme, if you can't tell, has been thanks and gratitude. And I would encourage each of you honorees who are here tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, next week, any successes that we achieve in life, people help us along the way. And you have accomplished a lot as we look at the screens here as the students have been rolling through and will continue to roll through tonight, all the different things that you've accomplished, someone's helped you along the way. So my challenge to you as honorees and as students and as young people would be to say thank you to those people who have helped you get to where you are tonight. It's now my honor to introduce Rowena Buffett Timms. Ms. Timms is Mission Health Senior Vice President for Government and Community Relations. Her responsibilities include devising legislative strategies that produce positive public policy outcomes at the local, county, state, and federal levels. As Chief Spokesperson and Brand Ambassador, Ms. Timms champions Mission Health's mission nationally and within the communities it serves. As you can see on your programs at your table, Ms. Timms has an impressive resume of senior leadership, healthcare experience in government relations, community affairs, marketing, and issue management arenas. With tonight's inspiration before our meal, it is an honor to welcome to the stage from Mission Hospital, Rowena Buffett Timms.
Thank you so much. Wow, I can't tell you how excited and honored I am to be here this evening. I often get to speak with wonderful groups of people that are inspirational. But the group I'm standing before this evening is incredibly inspirational to me. Your future's ahead. The future is bright. To parents, grandparents, friends, and all those villages that are sitting in the room beside these wonderful students, congratulations. You are well-deserved an honor as well. I'm a mother of a 16-year-old daughter, so I understand where we sit today. Congratulations. It's clear and obvious that you're here this evening as scholars, as committed, dedicated young individuals with a bright future ahead of you. I could talk about your grades. I could talk about those A's. I could talk about that extracurricular activity. But those things are obvious because that's why you're here this evening. I'd like to challenge you with thinking about something else that will become, it's really something we don't talk often about, but I'm sure in your homes you probably do. And that is, what is your North Star? What are you looking at? What are you looking at to become in the future? What are your core values? What is it that you expect of yourself? And as we think about those things, yes, I use the grades as sort of our foundation. It's our colander of where we begin. But really, how are we going to jump off from there, and what are you thinking about as you look at your future? Clearly, you have very defined goals about your career, what's expected of you, the kind of job you'd like to have, and what kind of education you'll receive out of college, and what your GPA will be coming out of college, and where you'll go to grad school. All those things are your colander of your foundation. I'm talking about something else. What will you do when you hit that fork in the road? When you're asked and challenged to be completely transparent, when transparency is painful and oftentimes won't put us in the best light possible, will you be transparent? Will you be kind when it's a challenge to be kind and so many of your other friends and those around you are really taking a different path? Will you challenge yourself and be kind to others? Reach out that hand to that individual, that fellow student, that friend around you that really needs that extra help. Will you provide insight and guidance from your heart and from yourself to help a fellow human being, to help a fellow student, a colleague, someone around you, when you're sharing your heart and soul about things that are uncomfortable, but you know in doing so, you'll be helping another human being? Those are the kinds of things we want to think about as we look at our North Star. What are our values? I challenge you after this evening, or certainly before you go off to college, to write some of those things down. What is it you want to be in that space and in that time when it most matters? When you're being judged for who you are as a person. And so I often talk of this, certainly to my own family, about who is it you want to be at that most critical time, at that fork in the road, when it's easiest and most comfortable to duck and run, duck and turn. Could you stand up and say, you know, I want to provide something that's uncomfortable? I think when we grow the most is when we're the most uncomfortable. I think when we provide the most compassionate care to another human being, it's when it's most uncomfortable. And so you're here today because you're incredibly disciplined, smart, beautiful. The future is ahead of you. And I'd like to just ask you to reflect, because I think as you move forward in your life, that North Star will guide you in so many ways when you least expect it. When you're at a party and you're at an event and something's happening, who is it you want to be at that moment? What will your North Star help guide you through that process? And once you begin thinking about those things, when you hit that fork in the road, you'll know where you want to go. You'll know who you want to be, and you'll know who you want to stand up for. You'll understand your brand. Who is it that you want to be branded? What are you looking for? And so I find those to be, even today, I find that to be a really interesting and incredible place to be in, because I'm often challenged even today when it's very uncomfortable, when I'm in situations that I would rather duck and run. I would rather say, oh yes, I agree. I stand firmly on the ground, and I encourage all of us to challenge ourselves to stand firmly on the ground and provide something that's painful, difficult, but of tremendous value. I heard somebody say something not too long ago that I thought, gosh, that was just incredibly wonderful. Somebody was being interviewed and was asked if you could have dinner with anybody, dead or alive, fictional or not, who would that person be? And we've all heard the answers, right? And they're all great, right? I'm not saying any of them aren't fabulous. Roosevelt, Jesus. I mean, they go on, right? These incredible answers. And this was the most significant one I've heard, and I thought, wow, that is so great. And the individual said, if I could have dinner with my 17-year-old self and say, everything is going to work out perfectly. You're going to have some hard times. You're going to hit some forks in the road. But it's all going to be worth it. That's the person I'd want to have dinner with. So I think that's a great way I'd like to end and say again, congratulations. Find your North Star. Determine who you want to be. It's good to do it now. It's good to adjust along the way. But it's good to sort of lay out your path, because when it's most important and you need it at that moment, you don't want to start thinking about it then. You want to have a clear definition of who you'd like to be in those most challenging times. I congratulate you. I'm honored, honestly, thrilled to be here. And I wish you all great success. Congratulations.
Thank you for those wonderful words of wisdom. They're applicable not just to the 17-year-olds in the room, but to those of us that just had our 56th birthday as well. It's now my honor to bring to the stage to introduce our keynote speaker, Assistant Superintendent of Buncombe County Schools, Mr. Joe Hough.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant. I will tell you, on your program, it says Dr. Tony Baldwin, and I have to thank Dr. Baldwin right out of the gates for the opportunity to introduce our speaker tonight. I'm a National Guardsman of 29 years, Lieutenant Colonel, so having the opportunity to introduce a general officer is certainly an honor. And if I don't do a good job tonight, I'll probably be a major by tomorrow morning. I hope not. As I looked over his bio from the Department of Homeland Security, I will tell you I was immensely impressed. Dr. Porter told me that I had exactly a minute and a half to do this intro. Now, for those of you that don't have a military background, to do a military intro, a minute and a half doesn't cut it. Usually that's about a 10-minute at best when you do change of commands and those things, but I think I've got it down to 2. I think we can get it done. Sir, I'll tell you, I will apologize if I miss some of the highlights, but I think I got it all. Major General Montague Winfield is the FEMA Region 4 Federal Preparedness Coordinator and Director of the National Preparedness Division. Of note, during his involvement with FEMA, he has been a coordinating officer for 11 presidential declared disasters. General Winfield completed a distinguished 31-year Army career. Commissioned in Army and Cavalry, he has commanded at every level and held staff positions up through the Joint Chief of Staff. That's just his FEMA background. I tell you, the next part's what impresses me. Talk about POW and MIA involvements. General Winfield served as the first commanding general of the newly formed Joint POW-MIA Accounting Command in Hawaii. He led and participated in negotiations with numerous countries to include North Korea. And just before his current assignment, he was the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for POW Missing Personnel Affairs. Folks, I tell you, that has got to be rewarding work. His final assignment as the Commanding General of U.S. Army Cadet Command, responsible for annual recruiting, training, development, and commissioning of 80% of the Army's new officers. He was awarded the Secretary of Defense Medal for Outstanding Public Service. His military awards include the Distinguished Service Medal, 2 Defense Superior Service Medals, and 3 Legion of Merits. He is also Ranger, French Commando, Airborne, and Air Assault qualified. Just to give you some local flavor, before all of this, General Montague Winfield was a high school scholar athlete, all-state high school, and All-American in wrestling. He taught and coached at Surrey High School in Virginia for 2 years before entering the military. A native of Petersburg, Virginia, he is married to the former Irma N. Keith, who is with us tonight. Glad to have you. They have 1 daughter, Christina. At this time, please join me in a warm welcome to the stage an outstanding American leader, Major General Montague Winfield.
Thank you very much. I did great. Absolutely. Good evening, everybody. As always, it's a great day to be in the Tar Heel State. And it's a great day to be a top scholar. Am I right about that? Oh, I'm not feeling you. It's a great day to be a top scholar. Yeah, absolutely. Deputy or Assistant Superintendent Hough, thank you for that very kind introduction. Needless to say, I have discovered that an applause before I speak is an act of faith. And applause during my speech is an act of hope. And applause at the end of my speech is an act of charity. Let the record reflect, I do accept charity. You know, whenever my father enters a room, he always asks the same question. But if I don't say this first, I'll be in trouble. So let me just acknowledge my best friend, my soulmate, my wife, Irma, who's with me today. Thank you, dear, for being a part of this event. Yeah, give her a round of applause. I can always use those brownie points. So whenever my father enters a room, he always asks the same question. Is everybody happy? And I think that's a very fitting question. You see, if you really think about it, I am convinced that each of you can think of a reason to smile this evening. You can smile if your iPhone or Android device works. You can smile if you're still using your parents as a human ATM machine. You can smile if you know that someone loves you dearly. And when you get my age, you can smile if every time you go upstairs in your home, you can remember why you went upstairs. And when you get my age, you can smile if you're regular. And most of you didn't figure that one out, but you'll get it before it's all over, I know. So I ask, is everybody happy? Absolutely. It is a great day to be here. I am delighted to be a part of this organization. Now, I need someone, one of the young people here, to help me out. Is there someone here with a watch? And I know most in your generation don't wear a watch. In fact, I don't wear one either. But some young person, some scholar that has a watch, I need your help. Please stand and be recognized because I have a mission for you. All right. Hey! Someone twisted your arm, I know. So, what is your name? Nolan. Nolan? Everybody say hello to Nolan. Nolan, in exactly 20 minutes, no matter where I am in my speech, in 20 minutes, you're going to stand, and you're going to say, thank you, General, for your general remarks, but you're generally out of time. Can you say that? Yes, thank you, General, for your general remarks, but you're generally out of time. All right. All right, please do. You know, research shows that during the course of a short speech, only 5% of the audience will recall the majority of the key points. 12% will recall maybe half of the key points. 28% will recall one or two of the key points. And the remaining 55% of the audience will tune the speaker out completely and indulge in romantic fantasies. Let me just tell you, it's encouraging to know that the majority of you all will enjoy yourselves over the next 20 minutes regardless of what I say. And if I see you smiling, and I haven't said anything humorous, I will know that we all will know that you're in your happy place. You know, as I was preparing my speech, memories flooded back over a period that my wife Irma and I were raising our daughter. You know, I was coming home from work. In fact, I was working in New York at the Council on Foreign Relations. But I came home one evening. She was in the second grade. And she was in the yard with her dog, Buster. So I walked up and I said, hey, Snoops, what are you doing? She said, Dad, I'm brushing Buster's teeth. I said, well, that's nice. She paused for a second and she said, Dad, don't worry. I'll put your toothbrush back like I always do. I was speechless. One more. See, I'm not the only one that was on the blame line. I have to get my wife up on this one as well. So Christy came back from school, and she said, Mom, can I start taking my bath before I go to school as opposed to before I go to bed? And Irma said, well, what's the difference? Christina said, every day the teacher says, everybody who took a bath today, please stand. And I haven't been able to stand one day since school started for the last 3 months. Blame her. We baby boomers and the generations behind us know that it's time to step back, or at least share the generational spectrum with those of you who represent the first wave of a new generation of students from age 16 to 19, Generation Z. Those of you who are not familiar with Generation Z, those are the folks who were born from the mid-1995 or 1995 thereabouts to the early 2000s. And I know you're thinking, all of you are saying, well, wait a second. What did they do, run out of alphabets and decide to give us the last letter? Well, no, not so much. When I was your age, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to kind of prepare myself for the opportunities I hoped would come my way. And although my parents weren't college graduates and they didn't have the money to send us to college, there was an expectation that I would go to college. And I didn't know it at the time, but even from a young tot, I had started preparing myself for those opportunities. At times, I would tell you that the path that you're on will be difficult, boring, discouraging, and oftentimes not well marked. But if you take each step as best you can and keep on walking, you will ultimately reach high ground, and you will be prepared for those opportunities that I know will come your way. This concept of being prepared and ready didn't just start this century. In fact, William Shakespeare in the 1600s had some thoughts on the topic. In his play Hamlet, Act 5, Scene 2, Hamlet is having a conversation with Horatio. And Hamlet said, "There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all." Now, for those of you who are not Shakespeare scholars, and for those of you who didn't pay attention in the literature class, let me translate that for you. You see, what Hamlet was telling Horatio is that everything will work out as it is destined. If it is supposed to happen now, it will. If it is supposed to happen later, it will not happen now. What is important is to be prepared. The operative words are readiness and prepared. You want to be ready and prepared for those opportunities that will definitely come your way. Needless to say, I've had some pretty cool opportunities and quite a few challenges along the way. I have often been asked, what prepared you for those opportunities? I was here in the county doing my duties as the Federal Preparedness Coordinator for the Southeast region of the United States, and that's when I met Dr. Porter. And he asked me these questions. I didn't realize he had researched my background, but he said, "Q, what prepared you to become a general in the military, a senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations in New York City, the lead negotiator in North Korea and Burma, the Army's rep as the owner of our NASCAR," and that was a pretty cool job, "no training required, a certified mediator and registered neutral with the Georgia Superior Court, a Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, and a presidential appointee." He went on to say, "What prepared you to face an enemy that was bent on killing you? Carry the key that would allow the president to launch our nukes." For those of you who watched all those cool movies, the president has the football, but I had the key that would have allowed him to do that. Be in charge of the National Military Command Center in the Pentagon on 9/11. I will never forget that long, long day that looked like it never ended. Recruit, train, commission 80% of the Army's officers each year. Represent the president in the Southeast region of the United States doing presidential disaster declarations. I thought about that long and hard. So here are a few thoughts that helped me and may help you prepare yourselves for the opportunities that, again, I am certain will come your way. 1, don't be quick to judge. Don't be quick to judge. Patience, tolerance, acceptance, and understanding are necessary virtues of life. Keep in mind that you could always be on the receiving end of that judgment that you're dishing out. A few years ago, I was asked to speak at an elementary school, and I had to walk through the playground to get to the office. And as I was walking, I noticed one of the young kids, children, I guess they don't want to be called kids today, was making scary faces, making faces at the other kids. So I stopped and decided to offer a little corrective criticism. I said, "When I was your age, my mom told me if I made scary faces, my face would stay that way." The young fellow looked up at me and he said, "Well, you can't say you weren't warned." Sometimes it's pretty challenging to love the little people, but I didn't judge. 2, don't become a reactionary victim of life's happenings. Don't become a reactionary victim of life's happenings. Sitting back, twiddling your thumbs, waiting for life to do for you, or worse yet, complaining about what it hasn't done for you will keep you right where you are. Take charge of your life, set goals, and act. As a high school teacher and coach for a couple of years, fresh out of college, I had some goals. I wanted to be, although I knew I weren't going to be there very long, I wanted to be the teacher of the year. I remember it very clearly. It was one of my first days on the job. I was in front of one of the classes, and I wanted to try to use a little psychology on them. So I stood in front of the class, and I asked, how many of you all want to be stupid? If you want to be stupid, stand. You couldn't hear a pin drop for a while. Finally, one of the young men stood up. So I said, John, do you really want to be stupid? He said, no, Coach. I just didn't want you standing up there all by yourself. Best 2 years of my life. And Bryant, I was named Teacher of the Year the second year. Congratulations to you as well. 3, dare to dream. Dare to dream. Imagining life beyond your current circumstances does not imply that you're being impractical. On the contrary, our hopes and dreams fuel our daily desire to reach higher, and work harder. Without them, we perish. I was convinced that if I worked harder and practiced longer, I would be able to beat the next fella, the next guy. It paid off. It worked. I became a scholar athlete, and as was alluded in my introduction, an all-state high school wrestler, and also a small college All-American. Now, there are a lot of failures there because I kind of didn't do so well in the other sports. I guess I found my niche. Now, you might not believe it now, but when I graduated from high school, I was 125 pounds and 5'7". That's what happens to you if you diet when you should be growing for sports. There's a lesson there somewhere. So now let me tell you that right up front, that many of my dreams did not come to fruition. I did not realize them. Years ago, I was in the hospital recovering from knee surgery. That's another downside of being an old athlete. My wife, Irma, was there by my bedside. And I said, dear, you know, you've been with me through the most difficult and challenging times of my life. When I was in that horrific car accident, you were there. When I lost my shirt in a bad investment, you were there. When I didn't get the job that I thought I was very qualified for, you were there. I grabbed her hand and I said, you know, dear, I'm convinced that you're just bad luck. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that after that conversation, they had to extend my hospital stay. 4, listen more, speak less, seek to learn always, and go after every task with every bit of energy and enthusiasm you can muster. Listen more, speak less, seek to learn, and always go after every task with every bit of energy and enthusiasm you can muster. It's hard to learn when you're talking all the time. It's also difficult when you're caged in by negativity. I encourage you to surround yourself with positive people. People who believe that there is an end to the tunnel when you can't see the light. And I would tell you that when I couldn't see the light, I worked that much harder. I'm sure that It was my energy and enthusiasm that caused me to succeed in becoming the honor grad in 4 different schools. In Ranger School, in Airborne School, in Air Assault School, and in French Commando School. All of this required a major time commitment. I would always bring home my office work. And some of you do that now. It became the norm. So one day, little Christina said, "Dad, why do you do that?" I explained to her that there was so much work to do that I couldn't get it all done during the day. Christian looked at me and she said, "Dad, why don't they put you in the slow group?" That's probably where I needed to be. 5, keep your priorities in order. Strive to be a productive member of our society. You may not be able to save everybody, but work to save yourself. As I was growing up, I had to learn 3 different language styles. First, I had to learn the current street slang that I used with my friends. I had to learn the African American English that I used around my family. And third was mainstream English that I knew I would need in order to be successful in America. You could say I was multilingual. You've heard it before. Most of us spend too much time on what is urgent and not enough time on what is important. Imagine this. You got to use your mind here. A triangle. And on the corners, you have good grades, social life, enough sleep. Choose 2. This is a drill in priorities. Let me say that again. Triangle, good grades, social life, enough sleep. Choose 2. Ponder that for a second. Not so easy, is it? 6, have a sense of humor. There will be times when you will not know whether you should cry or laugh. I choose to laugh. I think I've made the case. Life is complex. I challenge you to make life as fun and pleasant as you can possibly be in adversity. I'm convinced that you must have a sense of humor in order to carry through and lighten the burden of mental stress you will face. If not, life will drown you in self-pity and bitterness. Humor has gotten me through some of the toughest scrapes that I've been in. I think it's instructive at this time to mention one of my greatest failures. I'm a workaholic. I've loved all of my jobs. I've always planned to slow down, but I never have. Before I knew it, Christina had grown up and left home. I had missed opportunities to spend more quality family time with my wife and daughter. Please strive to keep a good work-life balance. I push that now in my current capacity with my team and my people. I now believe that it is better to have less and enjoy more. Remember, achieving and achievements is fleeting, but relationships are what life is all about. It makes it meaningful, rewarding, and enjoyable. I encourage you to learn to work to live and not live to work by choosing to apportion your time wisely. In my experience, the greatest joy you can know is one you are all familiar with, one that got you where you are tonight. Accomplishment. The joy of completing a job well done. The joy, and this joy can be boundless when you make full use of your minds, of your talents, and your time. An author once said, you should start to worry when you start sounding like everyone else you know. My mom taught me that anything worth doing is worth doing well. I caution you to avoid allowing pride and ego to become your Achilles heel. Pride will prevent you from admitting three things. I made a mistake. I don't know. I need help. Let me repeat those three. I made a mistake. I don't know. I need help. My philosophy has always been, I bring no ego, therefore there will never be any drama. One last memory of our daughter Christina growing up. One evening, she's a teenager now, she invited her boyfriend over. The next morning,
Thank you, General, for your general remarks.
sure, come on. So, you might not know this, but there's a tradition in the military. This is a corn of excellence. It's pretty cool. That's the presidential crest. There's my SES flag on there, my two-star flag, and all that. It says corn of excellence. Mm-hmm. We don't give these out to many people. And rumor has it that they're on eBay now, and they're worth about $100. So I'm going to give you this for a job well done.
Thank
How
you,
about
sir.
that? Okay.
Thank you.
There is no doubt in my mind that when I go to sit on the porch, we're in good hands. I'm going to finish this story in a minute. I drove too far not to finish this story, I got to tell you. So, the young man, this next morning, with a very stern voice, I said, Christina, your boyfriend stayed over pretty late last night. She said, Dad, did the noise bother you? I said, no, but the long periods of silence did. To be successful, I encourage you to consider the advice given by three men separated by hundreds of years: a Greek, a Roman, and a Jew. So the Greek Socrates said, know thyself. The Roman Cicero said, control thyself. And the Jew, Jesus said, give thyself. Know thyself, control thyself, give thyself. I can't think of better advice for you to be successful. To our scholars, congratulations. You are the best of your generation. You carry the hopes and aspirations of everybody here tonight. And you shoulder the weight of excellence set forth for you. Shoulder it well. Make us proud. God bless you. God bless America.
General Winfield, Ms. Winfield, we are so honored that you are with us tonight, and what incredible words of inspiration. Dr. Porter came into my office about a month ago, and he's not a real excitable guy. That's a joke. But he was overly excited. I mean, this was Donnie Porter on steroids. And what he said to me, he said, Doc, we have got to get the gentleman that I just met, an American hero, That's what he said, American hero. We have got to get him in front of our top scholars and our future leaders of this country. He is inspirational, his words of wisdom. And then he proceeded, does his homework, as you said. He puts this resume on my desk. And I see a lot of resumes, especially this time of year. That resume was 4 pages long, and I'm talking 4 pages single-spaced. And I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to really scan through. And I will tell you, I have never seen such a distinguished individual on paper. And what I just heard and witnessed, and I tell you, you've had knee surgery, but if anybody on this front row, if you caught him, he made one leap up on that stage that was incredible. This guy's a pro athlete as well. But I've just never witnessed someone that with that type of enthusiasm and that type of inspiration, and what wonderful messages that you gave again to our future leaders and our best and brightest. So for our students, for our top scholars, you truly saw an incredible model in front of you tonight. And Nolan, you may have a career in front of you, and I'm telling you, I'm going to borrow that because, General, I've got a few in our school system that we could use that trick with. Have someone time them, and I don't want to be one of those. But again, thank you so much. We appreciate your presence here. At this point in time, we will begin our traditional ceremony, and I'm going to ask our distinguished Madam School Board Chair, Mrs. Ann Franklin, to come to the stage, and we will begin.
I just scare him. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, we'll begin our resignation. Sorry. At this time, we'll begin our recognitions. We're going to start. And we're going to begin with Reynolds High School. And at this time, I'm going to ask the students of Reynolds High School and the principal, Doris Sellers, and the board representative, Cindy McMahon, to come forward. And I want everyone to line up here. And then, as the students line up and come to the podium, this is the parents' chance to take pictures. So don't be shy, come from your table and take pictures of your students. Okay, Ms. Sellers is going to call the name of the student. The student will go across the stage, and then we'll go outside and we'll have pictures taken there. Life Touch is going to take pictures so that we can all commit this to memory. Ms. Sellers.
Thank you, Madam Chair Franklin. Dr. Baldwin, you did steal my opening line, because General Winfield, I was going to tell you, I was not jumping on that stage like you did. That was impressive. Thank you for your words. Before I introduce to you the top scholars of A.C. Reynolds High School, I do want to say how much I appreciate Buncombe County Schools, our board, for continuing this excellent tradition of honoring our top scholars in Buncombe County Schools. It truly is one of my favorite events of the whole year, and I believe it is for Buncombe County Schools as well. So it is with honor that I represent to you tonight and bring to you the top scholars of A.C. Reynolds High School. We do have a motto at our school that we are going to always strive to be the best in everything we do, including the 3 A's of education: the athletics, academics, and the arts. There's no doubt with them being top scholars, they represent the academics. That's done. But I will also tell you, when I look at these students, I have seen them continually in performing in athletics, the arts. It always amazes me how they can do all that they do and keep the grades they do. And it is because of those priorities. They leave out that corner, the vertex of sleep. They do without a lot of that. So I present to you now the top scholars of A.C. Reynolds High School, and I do ask their parents to stand as I call their names. So our first student would be Zoe Claire Albrecht, daughter of Terry Albrecht and Suzanne Malloy. And I believe they would like for us to hold our applause till we get to the end of each high school tonight. Our second student will be Antonio Modesto Bird, son of Mary Beth and Antonio Bird. Our next student will be Julia Marie Bryden, daughter of Mary and Calvin Bryden. Melissa Jane Cavanini, daughter of Brian and Karen Cavanini. Michael Joseph Doucette, son of Karen and Michael Doucette. Griffin Mark Grow, son of Gordon and Susan Grow. Elizabeth Ann Hinman, daughter of Callan White Hinman and Kelly Hinman. Madeline Marie Marino, daughter of Victoria and Kelsey Marino. We do have a student unable to be with us tonight, Jennifer Rayanne Merck, daughter of Denise and John Merck. Evan Harrison Neal, son of Jeffrey and Allison Neal. Zachary Thomas Pamphilus, son of Stan and Janet Pamphilus. Elizabeth Ann Yaw Sakaz, daughter of Carol Sakaz and Sandy Kirchner. James Jackson Swain III, son of Robin and Jay Swain. Sarah Elizabeth Williams, child of Alan and Angela Williams. Catherine Emily Rose Wirtz, daughter of Kimberly Stewart and David Wirtz. Elizabeth Page Yates, daughter of Carla Yates. Jason Tiger Yu, son of Punga and Derek Yu. Ms. McMahon and I would like you to join us in recognizing the top scholars of A.C. Reynolds High School. Each high school will exit at this time after they're presented to go have a portrait made. And parents, if you would like to join in that portrait session, you are welcome to do so, or we will join you back in just a moment. Thank you.
Next is the Buncombe County Early College and Middle College. Ms. Cindy Little is the assistant principal. Mr. Dusty Pless is our board representative at large. Yes.
Good evening. I'd like to talk a little bit about Buncombe County Early College. These 6 students you see over here, all of them have achieved their associate of either arts or science degree while they were at early college, and they are going on for their junior and senior year at the regular 4-year universities. So we're very, very proud of them, and I'd like to introduce them. And of course, parents, please, as I call your son or daughter's name, please stand. The first one is Alondra Aguirre, daughter of Maria and Gregorio Aguirre, and she's going on to Appalachian State. Next, we have Colin Miller, son of Katie and Bradley Miller, and Colin is going on to Chapel Hill. Next, we have Unicha Pascari, and daughter of Veronica and Mihaly Pascari, sorry, and she's going on to App. Next, we have Caitlin Poteet, daughter of Charles Poteet and Joan Stacy Hanna, and she is going on to continue at UNCA Asheville. Then we have Carmen Prashida. Carmen is the daughter of Eileen and Marcus Prashida, and she's going to go to NC State. And of course, we have next is Scotland Wiltshire, daughter of Robert and Andrea Wiltshire, and Scotty's going on to Salem College. Would you please give a round of applause to the students from Buncombe County Early College?
Now we have the middle college.
They are separate schools, so. And Buncombe County Middle College, as you know, I've come up here on a number of occasions, is the smallest school in Buncombe County. We're very proud of them. They also attend high school and college at AB Tech. And tonight we want to honor Kelsey Hensley, daughter of Carrie Hensley and Terry Neff. And she's going to stay at AB Tech.
At this time, we'll recognize Charles D. Owen High School, Ms. Meg Turner, the principal, and Mr. Chip Craig, the vice chair of our board.
While they're making their way to the front, I want to tell you all, it's awesome to be here tonight. Mrs. Sellers said it well, and that is that it's a great time of year to be a principal. And for those of you that are here with our honored guests tonight, it's kind of the beginning of the end. We had a Civitan luncheon on Tuesday, and that was the first event where we began to recognize our seniors who are esteemed and accomplished, and tonight is really the first big night, and it's awesome to be here. Major General, and to others who served our country, we appreciate your service. Thank you very much. I also want to say that one of the awesome reasons it's great to be here tonight is that this time last year I was with my mom at the hospital, and she went 8 days and didn't eat, and hospice swooped in and took care of my mom, and they started to come to bathe my mom, and she wasn't there because she was having lunch with her friends. So it wasn't long after that until hospice says, we're not really sure this is in order. And I had to come back to work. And I talked to my mom tonight on the way here. And I just want to say to those of you that are sitting tonight at tables with people that you love, reach over and grab them and squeeze their hand and enjoy the time and the moments that you have together. It's awesome to be here to present the students to you tonight from Owen, the guidance counselor, senior counselor, Mr. Rumbaugh and I were talking today about this group, and what we agreed is that they are gentle and kind. We started to use the word low-key, but you can't describe people who have 4.5 GPAs as low-key, but they are gentle, they're genuine, and we are super proud to present the top 15 scholars from Charles D. Owen High School tonight for you. So at this time, I would like to present Emily Catherine Beaver, daughter of Michael and Christy Beaver. And would parents please stand as I call your name? Noah Elliott Box, son of Robert and Belinda Box. Casey Elaine Clement, daughter of Daryl and Linda Fowler. Danielle Nicole Everly, daughter of Sue Francisco and Ken Everly. Mary Deborah Jabot, daughter of Stuart and Deborah Jabot. Rebecca Carol Hetrick, daughter of John and Allison Hetrick. Laura Brooke Mundy, daughter of David and Tressie Mundy. Nicholas Becker Murphy, son of John and Elizabeth Murphy. Lucy Ann Nelson, daughter of Jeff and Martha Nelson. You parents are, oh, they are standing. I'm like, where are they? Samantha Page Parham, daughter of Richard and Lisa Parham. Catherine Michelle Roberts, daughter of Mike and Cindy Roberts. Kendall Allen Robertson, daughter of Catherine Robertson. Caroline Elizabeth Roy, daughter of Scott and April Roy. Emma Claire Thomas, daughter of Drake Thomas and Hannah Heel. Leah Marie Williams, daughter of George and Maria Williams. Again, a great round of applause for the wonderful top scholars of Charles D. Owen High School. Thank you.
As these students organize themselves, we'll welcome to the podium Dr. Jim Brown, Principal, and Mr. Pat Bryant, Board Member from the Irwin District. I got your name right, didn't I? You did. Thank you. Where's that one, babe?
General Winfield, Nolan is mine. He's also our student body and senior class president. And at senior meetings, he does the same thing to me. So he was no stranger. We're getting ready to recognize top scholars for Clyde at Irwin High School. It's been a journey for me for the last 4 years because I've gotten to know these students on an upfront, close and personal basis. Some of these students, and I have to say, I want to say kids, but they're actually young adults, but I've known most of them, some of them since before they were in first grade. So it's really a pleasure and honor to share this evening with you and the parents. But I've had a chance to take some of these students with me on a field trip to New York City and sing in the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I've had the opportunity to take some of these students to Charleston, to the College of Charleston, and participate in regional math competition. I've had the opportunity to go through many a pep rally and a football and basketball game in the student section with these kids. And all I can tell you is that this community and this state and this nation is in good hands with kids like these. So will you share with me tonight and join me as we recognize the top scholars at Clyde Irwin High School. And again, we'd like for the parents to proudly stand as I call your children's names. Bradley Martin Alfieri, grandson of Martin and Joan Robinson. Matthew Thomas Braswell, son of Michael and Karen Braswell. Nolan Isaac Coatson, son of Kenneth and Don Coatson. Shelby Leanne DeBrule, daughter of Lindsay and Teresa DeBrule. Elizabeth Hyler, daughter of John and Kathy Hyler. Malia Kendall, daughter of Mary Kendall. I do have one student who's absent tonight, but I want to call out her name and recognize her parents. Jasmine Lopez Reynoso, daughter of Israel Lopez and Gia Ermina Reynoso. Samantha Page Moore, daughter of Martin and Paula Moore. Blake Dylan Morgan, son of Jim and Lynn Morgan. Denise Poslovsky, daughter of Olena Poslovsky. John Cooper Smith, son of Brad and Bonnie Smith. Till Sumter, son of Steve and Carol Sumter. Megan Faith Thomas, daughter of Ryan and Jackie Thomas. Clarissa Ward, daughter of Roger and Tammy Ward. Madison Christine Wolf, daughter of Ricky and Chrissy Wolf. And Edward Zhurolev, son of Oleg and Maria Zhurolev. Folks, would you join me in applause for our top scholars at Irwin High School? Thank you.
At this time, we'll welcome to the podium Principal Tanya Robinson and Mr. Max Queen, the board member from the Inca District. I'll just let you know that this is Ms. Robinson's first year as principal at Inca, and apparently they're not treating her very well because she's on a crutch.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your patience in me hobbling up here. This is the sprained ankle, which is a result of a young mind and a much, much older body. Anyway, so thankful to be here tonight, and what an awesome opportunity to present to you the best of the best in our beautiful Hominy Valley at Inca High School. I appreciate your words tonight, sir. They were amazing and inspiring to me as I go back to lead Inca High School. Folks, we have 4 students that are not with us tonight, and those students are not here because it's the opening of our play, our spring musical, The Addams Family. Want to put in a plug. If you don't have anything to do tomorrow night, come on out to Inca High School. It's going to be amazing. But that just goes to show the well-roundedness of these individuals who stand in front of you. These students are not just academicians. They are absolutely athletes. They are fine arts folks. They do all kinds of things. And Ms. Sellers, I completely agree with you. They're the most well-rounded and the best of the best. And I am honored here tonight to present them to you. We will start with Miss Caitlin Lorraine Allison, daughter of Shannon Davis. Parents, please stand. You did. Good job. Lacey Caroline Blankenship, daughter of Leland and Lynn Blankenship. Rebecca Ruth Bratch, daughter of Steve and Laura Bratch. Lauren Elizabeth Burke, daughter of AJ and Terry Burke. Taylor Victoria Clark, daughter of David and Melanie Clark. Brandon Christopher Dillingham in absentia, son of Chris and Danette Dillingham. Troy Anthony Edwards in absentia, son of Sheila Allen and Anthony Edwards. Heather Jordan Freeman in absentia, daughter of Thomas and Susan Freeman. Kyra Ann Guy in absentia, daughter of Rebecca Guy. Those people are at our play. Megan Elizabeth Hall, daughter of Doug and Beth Hall. Addison Taylor Harris, daughter of Ernie and Cheryl Harris. Jennifer Rebecca Lawrence, daughter of Sterling and Catherine Lawrence. Claire Madeline Moody, daughter of Eric and Sheila Moody. Samantha Gabrielle Olson, daughter of Herman and Ruth Olson. Shruti Patel, daughter of Sam and Parvati Patel. Courtney Alyssa Pearson, daughter of Jimmy and Melissa Pearson. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am so very proud to be here tonight, and they know that I'm going to say this. I am so proud to be a Jet, and I would like for you to join me now and Max Queen in congratulating these students on receiving this honor.
This time we'll ask for our North Buncombe scholars, Principal Jack Evans, and we'll ask our Madam Chair, Ann Franklin, who's also the district rep, to stay where she is currently located.
Good evening. I'd like to begin by saying a thank you to the Board of Education, Dr. Baldwin, and the central office staff for still seeing how important this banquet is. I realize in the time of budgets, a lot of cuts are made. This is something that should never be cut. These students have worked 13 years to become the best of the best at North Buncombe, and to be honest with you, that's saying a lot. You see in front of you 15 young men and women that have been top of their class, AP classes, many of them fine arts, are amazing musicians. But I want to tell you something a little bit different about this group. North Buncombe took a pretty big hit last week. We lost one of our own. We talk a lot in North Buncombe about Black Hawk pride. We talk a lot about family. And I will tell you, the senior class and the student body itself really made those words true. They supported each other. They supported me. So their integrity shined much more than their intelligence. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the top scholars of North Buncombe High School. Jennifer Michelle Anna, daughter of Paul and Diana Anna. Athanasius Spiros Apostolopoulos, son of Spiros and Lizzie Apostolopoulos. Matthew Patrick Bryan, son of Roger and Cheryl Bryan. Alex Mikado Carter, son of Barry and Yashiko Carter. Thomas Heath Davis, son of Chuck and Pam Davis. Mason Robert Doyle, son of Robert and Bonnie Doyle. Olivia Rush Gentry, daughter of Jim Gentry and Deborah Calhoun. Michaela Leanne Johnson, daughter of Amy Johnson. Eleanor Kate Jones, daughter of Scott and Linda Jones. Riley Paige McKinnon, daughter of Christopher and Megan Wickus. Brianna Meredith Miller, daughter of Jamie and Lori Miller. Madison Ann Moran, daughter of Brian and Ashley Moran. Elizabeth Beth Savage, daughter of Tracy and Donna Savage. Austin Gregory Shepard, son of Gregory and Crystal Shepard. Elizabeth Grace Stevens, daughter of Greg and Deanna Stevens. Molly Marie Sullivan, daughter of James and Bridget Sullivan. Ruth Vladimirova Svetlov, daughter of Vladimir and Nadiezhna Svetlova. Please join me with a round of applause for the best of North Buncombe High School.
I'll welcome to the podium Ms. Amy Roney, principal at T.C. Robertson, and Amy Churchill, board representative from the T.C. I was going to make a comment about being Amy Square, but that's the Team Amy over there.
Good evening. While our students are participating in their Kodak moment, I want to give you just a little bit of information. We do have 19 students to recognize tonight. Unfortunately, 7 of those cannot be with us. We have 1 student and mother who are sick, and 6 of our honorees are in the musical, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. So when you're not at the Adams family at Inca this weekend, come on over to Robertson, and you can go to the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. I'm sure it will be very entertaining. Parents, we ask that when your son or daughter's name is called that you please stand. And a quick note to our parents, on behalf of the faculty and staff at T.C. Robertson High School, we just want to say a quick thank you for allowing us to educate your sons and daughters. It has truly been our pleasure and our honor to do that. This is a wonderful group of young men and women. So students, as I call your name, if you would please come forward. Mary Daly Armstrong, daughter of Dr. Robert and Mrs. Martha Armstrong. Chelsea Jennifer Bose, daughter of David and Laura Bose. Abhishek Roy Das, son of Amitav Das and Navita Roy. David Jackson Fine, son of Bruce and Nicole Fine. David is in our play. Also, Alexandra Fisk, daughter of Steve and Sandy Fisk. She is also in our play. Emily McLean Fuller, daughter of Mallory and Anya Fuller. Abigail Marie Hudspeth, daughter of Sally Borshig and Richard Hudspeth. Harrison Hill Kaufman, son of Patricia Wigington, and also Quentin Alexander Kaufman, son of Patricia Wigington, are both in our play. Chelsea Elizabeth Krug, daughter of Jerry and Paige Krug. And I said your name wrong. I do it every time. It's Chesley. I call her Chelsea on the morning announcements. She's our #1 student, and I call her by the wrong name. So let's try that again. Chesley Elizabeth Krug. Mauricio Linares, son of Georgina Linares. Alexandra Anna Mahoney, daughter of Kevin and Olga Mahoney. And Alexandra is sick. Jacob Robert Palco, son of John and Laurie Palco. Amy Bhavin Patel, daughter of Mr. Bhavin Patel and Miss Opna Patel. Samantha Grace Scott, daughter of Meg and Jeff Scott. And Samantha's in our play. Joseph Carson Swan, son of Joseph and Lisa Swan. Matthew Kyle Whitaker, son of Michelle Whitaker. Alice Porter Widman, daughter of John Widman and Dr. Teresa Herbert. Jacob Young Yang, son of Jimmy and Hei Chung Yang, and Jacob is also in our play. So please join Ms. Churchill and myself in congratulating the best of the best from T.C. Robertson.
At this time, I'd like to take an opportunity to thank the continued support that we get from Life Touch Photography and also Becky's Florists. You know, at a time like this, which is, I understand, the beginning of the celebrations that will take us from now to the end of the school year, we get involved in all of it. And my message to you as seniors and honorees tonight is to take a moment and live in that moment and commit it to memory. Because believe it or not, when you're my age and you look back, it's the memories that propel us. And I'd ask you to remember this moment and all the others that you will cherish and share from now until the end of your high school career. Congratulations.
I want to thank our two inspirational speakers tonight, Rowena Buffett Timms. Appreciate her participation in our ceremony tonight, and certainly General Winfield and Ms. Winfield, thank you for being with us as well, and the wonderful comments that you provided our top scholars. I also want to thank Mr. Pat Bryant for leading off our ceremony, and scholars, I think he gave you a wonderful piece of advice. Before you wake tomorrow morning, you make sure that you thank those that are closest to you, because as he said very correctly, we all, as we have success in life, we all have those that support us, and we should thank. Also want to recognize sort of the individuals that were behind the scenes, because this could not have happened without their work. And so they have probably already left the building. They do this to me all the time, but my executive office manager, Kim Matthews, if she is here. Oh, she is. All right. They're sitting in the very back, so they tried to get out, but I think the door was blocked. And also Paula Garland. Would you two please stand, and let's give them a round of applause. They both do a great job of keeping Mr. Hough and I in order. And the other three individuals that I am just so proud to recognize come from our communications department, and that is Dr. Donnie Porter, Stacia, and Ben. And without them, and by the way, if you have not visited our website recently, please do so. Some of the video, some of the media streams that are coming out of that communication department are flat out awesome, and scholars, as soon-to-be graduates, you're going to be so proud of this. So let's give them a really nice hand. And guys, please stand up. Before you leave tonight, scholars, I just want to give you a simple few words, and that is within about 6 weeks, and some of you have it actually down to the days and the hours, you're going to be walking across the stage, and you're going to be moving on beyond your high school and your K-12 school career. There's one thing I want you to always remember, that as you walk across that stage, Buncombe County Schools will always be a home and always be your family. Have safe travels home tonight.